Hello friends, today I would like to talk about 3 pieces of small business advice that I see commonly and that I disagree with. I thought we would do a short, fun, conversational video about this. I've seen these pieces of advice between TikTok, Skillshare, YouTube, and Instagram. My quick disclaimer in here is that some of these work for some people. If this is something that works for you, that's great. Keep it. I'm not telling you not to. But I do want to normalize that I think some of these don't work for all personality types and all types of people, depending on circumstance, and I want those who have felt perhaps that these aren't working for them to know that they're not alone. The only piece of information I would like to share with you before we get started is please check out my Instagrams if you haven't already. Abigail Faith Co. is where you have a little bit about me, some behind the scenes, talk about small business and mental health, and posts when new YouTube videos come out. And then Toxic Vinyl Co. is my business Instagram, and that is all product photos and painted vinyl records and whatnot over there. So I would love to see some new faces over there if you guys get the chance. And let's jump into the video. The first piece of advice that I see that has really upset me in the past is to set really ambitious goals. I first saw this on a Skillshare video about productivity. They said the best thing you could do for your business was to be super ambitious with your goals. We're talking like, you know, plan to have 100,000 new followers on TikTok in the next couple months and plan to whatever, and that like it's really good for you if you over exaggerate what's realistic about a situation. And I did this at the time. I set some goals. Oh boy, did it not work for me. It just upset me. It made me stressed. It made me anxious. Goals are great. Don't get me wrong. We should all have goals in some way. But this concept that we need to be reaching for something super, super high, I feel like for someone like me who tends to be a fairly anxious, overthinker, perfectionist type person, reaching so high like that made me lose my motivation a little bit to actually do the thing. I felt as though I was constantly failing, falling behind other people. It contributed to feelings of wanting to compare to other creators, and I feel that when I remove some of those goals, specifically goals about number of followers to hit within a certain time frame, I feel a lot better and able to focus on my art and posting content without feeling like I have to do it within a certain time frame or I will have failed somehow. So I think this is a tricky kind of situation, but I see this piece of advice in a lot of places. So I wanted you to know, if you're someone who has been setting huge goals and feeling anxious or stressed or disappointed about these goals, consider removing them. And that's not to say everything that you have goals about, you know, business goals related to sales or finances or something. That's not really what I mean, but goals related to content creation, number of followers, those are things that don't always help all of us, and I wish more people talked about that. The second piece of advice is trending on TikTok right now, and that is filming everything you do. Everything. I don't know about you guys. Sorry, my chair is squeaking. I don't know about you guys, but I do not have that kind of energy or iCloud space on my phone. I have days where I just want to paint, and to take my music out and detach my earbuds from my phone and put it up on the tripod and film a painting over the course of however long that painting takes me, exhausting. I have figured out only recently that it is much easier to make content when I feel like making content, and I can put my energy into that when I'm in the mood. And if I try to film everything all the time, I feel overworked much quicker. I get overstimulated, I need to sort of crash by the end of the day, and I'm much more likely to feel sort of things piling up. Not to mention if I'm working on multiple paintings at the same time and I film, let's say I'm working on 5, and I film pieces of all 5, but none of them are done. Well, then I just have random pieces of paintings in my phone, videos in random places. Then when I finish it later and I want to go edit it, it's all over the place. I can't find everything. I feel like it adds to my to-do list. So again, this works for some people. You want to film everything you do. If you have a setup for that, if you had an extra old phone laying around that you could film on or something, I'm sure that makes it a lot easier. But as someone with one cell phone that I like using for music while I'm working, this is a really difficult one, and I don't think it's necessary, and I have a successful TikTok while not filming everything I do. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And the last is a contradictory piece of advice that I see on both extremes, but nowhere in the middle. The first is hustle harder. If I haven't already said how I feel about hustle culture, I hate it. I hate it. It's awful. Hustle, work harder, have a job, come home, working in the night. You don't have to. You don't have to. There may be times that you want to push yourself, especially for someone who has a job in addition to your small business and you want to come home and work at the end of the day. Like, I'm not telling you not to, but the feeling of needing to, because that's what everyone else is doing, or that's what people are saying you should do, I think is a little bit toxic. On the opposite end of the spectrum, I also see people saying, you should learn how to balance your life. I only work 3 to 4 hours a day. What I have to say to that is we all wish we were you. No, but for real, I think that that's great. It's not realistic for most people. And for someone like me, I actually would probably be discontent working 3 hours a day. I enjoy working. I enjoy getting into projects. 3 hours a day of work would actually be too little for me, just based on personal preference. And I think there's a middle ground between these two. But I only see videos that are work less or work more. And I don't see anyone saying work as much as you are able to work, and also let yourself rest and let yourself relax and recharge and get the mental clutter out of your head about business stuff and, take care of yourself first. I want to share a piece of advice with you to end off the video real quick. It is a piece of advice I got in the theater world. Someone who graduated before me in college, who is an actor in New York, came back to visit school, and we were talking about theater, and he said to me, the best way for you to find success is to remove your identity from the work that you do. And this is particularly true in the arts, especially as an actor. We often associate with the roles we play. He said when you remove your identity and you think of it as a job, then the rejections and the problems, they become having issues at work and not I am an issue. Again, very common in the theater world. How I relate this to small business is if we're filming all the time and we're hustling harder and we're setting super ambitious goals and things aren't working for us at that time or aren't working to the caliber we want it to be working, you run the risk of feeling like we are failing and we aren't good enough and we haven't done enough. But it's not us. This is me. This is my business over here. And so if you guys haven't, I encourage you to start to think about the idea, if you haven't already, of removing yourself from your business or your work or whatever kind of, social media, entrepreneur, whatever kind of stuff you do. That is your work and it's not who you are, and how your work is going does not reflect who you are. If your business is just failing miserably right now, been there, done that, doesn't mean you are failing miserably at life. It means things aren't going well in the business right now. Things aren't going well at work right now. You are doing fine. You are doing great. You're all beautiful and wonderful, and it's lovely to see some new subscribers here. Thank you so much for taking a little time with me today to talk about some of these things. Please leave your thoughts. These are simply my opinions based on things I've seen. Again, the opposite of some of these work for some people. If they work for you, disregard the things I said. It's probably not meant for you then. But yeah, as always, continue to engage with the video. If you guys have something you want to comment, I'd love to chat with you guys and hear your thoughts on these. I really do like reading the comments and replying to them, especially related to people's personal experience in their small business. So let me know how things are going for you, and I will see you all next time.